Share with us what you did.
I knew that there were 7 days in a week, and you have to express one day. So when I made the number line, I only did one box.
You only shaded in one box. And you did 7 boxes because you said there are 7 days in 1 week? Okay, so then what fraction did you get from this? 1 day, oops. There you go, go for it. 1 day is equal to how many of a week? How much of a week? 1/7 of a week. Nice job. Did anybody get that? Show that on your tape diagram. 1/7 of a week is equal to 1 day. Awesome. Who wants to do the next one? Go ahead.
So I knew that there was 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. Yard. And so then I did a tape diagram to split it into 3 centimeters.
This is the yard and those would be nice. Okay, and then you shaded in 1 because we want 1 foot, right? So 1 foot is equal to 1/3 of a yard. Any me too's on that one? You got me too's on that one? Okay, how about the last one? This one was a little bit tricky because the number is so big. Who would like to share their work on the last one? Or do you have a question? Who wants to share their answer? Just why you should go back to me.
So I did 1, 2, skipped a line, and then did 9. 1 centimeter equals 100 centimeters equals 1/3.
So you shaded in the 1 square, and you knew how many pieces were there? So then if this is our tape diagram, the fraction will be 1 out of 100 pieces, right? So then what are we going to put for here? Centimeters or meters?
Centimeters.
So we have 1 centimeter out of the whole meter. So 1 centimeter is equal to
100
of meters or centimeters. Raise your hand with a 1 in the air if you think it's centimeters. Raise your hand with a 2 if you think it's meters. 2 if you think it's meters, 1 if you think it's centimeters. See, a lot of you have meters. Nice work. That's because the whole part is a meter, right? And we have 100 little pieces, right? So 1 centimeter is equal to the whole thing, 100. Does that make sense? Any Me Too's on that one? I know it was a little bit hard to get it in because it was such a long tape diagram. So, in your partners, in your groups, talk about how this information could help us in the real world. When do we need to know how to convert measurements in our everyday life? As an adult, as a kid, talk in your groups.
I think it's special something about blah 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 centimeters, like amount of I think how do you think help us? I think help us.
All right, Rayburn. All right, raise your hand if you have any ideas. How could we use this information in our everyday lives? Cooper, what you got?
Something you need to know how to split.
Gotcha. So if you're trying to split something evenly in a factory, you need to know your measurements, right? Okay, sounds great. What about you? That's a good one. If you're cooking, you need to know your measurements, right?
If you're programming a fit.
If you're what?
Programming a fit.
Ooh, tell me a little bit about that one. How would you need to know measurements for that?
Like if you're doing like steps, you would know how to calculate
Oh, okay. How many steps you took means how far did you go in miles or and meters? Nice. Sydney, what you got?
your haircut.
Ooh, when you get your hair cut, you get a certain amount of,
Hair.
yeah, inches. Does anyone here get a foot cut off of their hair? What? Seriously, you got a whole foot cut off?
I got
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you did.
Awesome. All right, so guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to work with this information to solve this problem. We have 14 days. So it's like 14 days till our big test. How many weeks is that? Oh, don't say that loud. You guys probably already know, don't you? Show me on your fingers. 2 weeks. How did you guys know that? Well, how did you know?
Because 2 times 7, well, 14 divided by 2 is
14 divided by 2 is 7. You guys are so smart. Even though you already knew this, we're going to go back and use our thinking, our knowledge about the fractions to solve this problem, even though we already know the answer, okay? So I want to see your thinking. We're going to do it in a very specific way. You guys ready? Get out your whiteboards. You don't need your rulers just yet. All right, Rayburn. So what we learned from our practice problem was, eyes up here, everybody. Are you guys good with your markers and whiteboards you got out? Thumbs up, you guys are good? Okay. We have 1 day right here, right? 14 days is 14 times 1 day. We just separated the 14, the number goes here, and the unit, the measurement, just went here, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to change this guy. Okay? Now we already established, what does 1 day equal in weeks? Show me on your whiteboards. What does 1 day equal in weeks? We already looked it up. 1 day equal in weeks. We know that 1 week is equal to how many days, guys? 7 days. But what does 1 day equal in weeks? We already did that in our practice problem. Nice work. Hold them up high once you have it written on your whiteboard. Write down what you think it is. What is 1 day in weeks? You're writing green.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, could you write it a tiny bit bigger? My old eyes can't see that. Raise it up really high. Yeah, you guys. What is 1 day in weeks? Nice work. Hold it up high, people. Awesome job. All right, so I see a lot of you guys have 1/7, right? We good? So then for here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this knowledge and plug it in right here. Instead of writing 1 day, since we know it's the same thing as 1/7 of a week, we're going to write 1/7. Does that make sense? Do we get why? Because it's the same thing? Okay, moving down. How are we going to now multiply 4 multiplied by 1/7? Show me on your whiteboards. How would we then multiply 14 by 1/7? Because now we have our information all there. We're just going to solve it. 14 multiplied by 1/7. 1/7. Solve it out. You guys can talk in your group. See what your partners are doing. See what your group mates are doing. How are we going to multiply by 1/7? You guys have the same answer? Talk with your people in your group. Talk with your people in your group. What are you guys doing? Do you have any ideas? Go for it. That's a good idea.
I think I know.
There you go. Great idea. I'm hearing a lot of different strategies for how you're going to multiply 1/7 by 14. Does anyone want to show the class what they did? What is your group thinking? Did you guys hear that? Raise your hand if you heard that. Yeah, we didn't hear that. Could you say it a little bit louder?
I'm thinking, we were thinking kind of doing 1/7 14 times.
Okay. Adding 1/7 14 times or multiplying?
Adding.
Yeah, so you would add 1/7 14 times. Did anyone solve it that way? No. No? Did anyone else solve it that way? No. Do we have different ways of solving it? Okay, awesome. Great thinking.
Then do 14 and cover all of these.
Okay.
So this would be one whole. And then do another 7. So 14 7. This is going to be equal to either 14/7 or 2 wholes.
All right. And is that 2 wholes of a day or 2 wholes of a week?
2 wholes.
2 wholes of a week. Nice. Do you guys?
That'd be 2.
2 weeks until the big test. Did anybody get 2 weeks as their final answer too? But now I heard you guys had a little bit different ways to do it. Yes, Hadley, come on. She's super excited to share her thinking. I love it. Go for it. Do you want red or green? All right. Hadley, can you share with us what you did?
I did single.
What is anything can go over 1? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Nice work.
And then I did times 1/7.
Okay.
And equals it. I did 14 times 14. 7 times 7.
Nice. Oh, how did you do that? 14 over 7 equal 2.
Divided by
Nice. So what you did is you multiplied straight across, right? You made both of them a fraction, multiplied straight across. Love it. And then you went a step further and used this as a division sign, right? Nice work. Can fractions also be known as division? A little bit of division? Do you divide the top by the bottom or the bottom by the top?
The bottom.
You divide the top
By the bottom.
by the bottom. Yes, and that's how we got 2. Did anybody do it that way? Do we have any Me Too's for that? No? No Me Too's? How did you guys do it? Do it a little bit differently? Okay. Do you have any way to? I hear you. We're going to move on a little bit. Nice work, people. Because then in the end we got 14/7, right? A week equals how many weeks? 2 weeks. 2 weeks until the final exam. Dun 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 dun. You're gonna study? Uh-oh. Good thing you have 2 more weeks to study. Alright, so now we're gonna take that knowledge that we just learned and we're gonna put it into real life practice. Poor old Roger wants to build a tower. How many inches tall is his tower? 60 inches. And he wants to know how many feet is 60 inches. So if he builds a tower super tall and it's 60 inches, how many feet is that? 60 inches. So show me on your whiteboards, what do we need to know before we even start to solve this problem? Before we even start to solve the problem, what do we need to know? You can talk in your groups and show me on your whiteboards. What do we have to know? What do we have to know before we even start multiplying or dividing? What do we need to know to solve this problem? How can we help Roger out? You want to come show us? What do we need to know before we even start? What knowledge do we need to know?
12 inches and 1 foot.
Here you go. Go for it. What is some information we need to know? That's okay. You don't have to write a full sentence. You can just show us what you need to know.
We now know. Okay, we need to get the resource out. We need a resource. Jesus.
Alright. Nice work. So before we even start this problem, we need to know that there are 12 inches in a foot, right? So, going off of what we learned, you guys are great. Hold on to your great thinking. How can we put this in a fraction like we did before? We know 12 inches are in a foot. 12 inches are in a foot. 1 foot. How much of 1 foot is 12 inches? Let's use our rulers. Everybody pick up your ruler. Alright, show me with your finger where 2 inches is. Yep, 2 inches. Hold it up high.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it's right. 2 inches. Hold up high. Now how about 4 inches? Now how about 12 inches?
Stop.
Now how about 1 foot?
You'll move it.
Oh, it's the same. You didn't move, right?
Nope.
That's because 12 inches, 1 foot.
This is the
So
size
show me, this is a little bit tricky, show me half of a foot. Half of a foot. What inch mark is your finger at? 6. How about 1/3 of a foot? 1/3 of a foot. This one's a little bit tricky.
right there. I think
What 1/3 of a whole foot? I hear a lot of 4s. Yes, work. So now put your finger at 1 inch. What fraction of that whole foot is that? That's what we're trying to look for, right? 1/12. Are you serious? How did you guys know? Sydney.
because there's 12 inches in a foot.
True.
And then if you're at 1 inch, so if you want to, so you have 12 inches, and then you put your hand on the 1 inch, so you do it from the whole length, and then to what you have to the line.
Gotcha. So you guys have all your rulers? Okay. So you guys had your finger right here. It's almost like shading in this part like we did with the tape diagram, right? So you knew it was 1 part of 12 parts, right? 1/12. Nice work. So how now can we use this information to help poor old Roger? Talk with your groups. How can we use this information that 1 inch is 1/12 of a foot to help Roger?
So you have to do 12 into something to get to 60. Oh, that's easy. So you get to keep multiplying until you get to 60. I got
How can we use this information to help Roger figure out how many feet tall his structure is? How tall is his structure?
This is where meaning 1 inch is like half of a foot. But we want to know how many 6 inches. So that's how we call a unit. Come up and check per
Yep. Do you want to do your own composition that way? Yep, you're okay. All right, my friends, look up here.
No, it says 1 foot equals 12 inches, which would be 12 times something. But you don't know what you have to do to multiply it. You don't know what you have to multiply it by. So, what I did in my head, since I knew what 12 times 2 was, it was 12. I kept adding another 12 to 24 until 60. And you have to put it in.
Nice. So your answer in the end was 5 inches, feet? Inches. So if his tower is 60 inches tall, it's also 5 inches tall? 5 feet tall. Gotcha. Nice work. Did anyone else get 5 feet? Any Me Too's? Okay. Did anyone else do it a different way? We've got a lot of different ways. Let's try to do it the way that we did the first problem. Okay? So show me on your whiteboards. 60 times 1 inch. Remember before we just did the number and then we pulled out the inches. Okay? Show that. Erase your whiteboards and then show me this on your whiteboards. So then if we don't want inches anymore, we want, what measurement do we want? Feet. Feet. So we're going to multiply by something feet. And how many is 1 inch? How many is 1 inch? Show me on your whiteboards. How many feet? How much of a foot is 1 inch? You can use your rulers. So 1 inch on your ruler is how many of a foot? You gotta write it a little bit bigger first. So write the fraction. Remember we just did this. If we have 1 foot and we divide it into how many parts for inches? How many parts are we going to divide it into? 12. So hold them up. Hold them up really tall. Can't see everyone. Hold them up really tall. Awesome job, people. So I see a lot of you writing in here. 1 over how many?
12.
12. Nice work. So then, how are we going to multiply 60 multiplied by 112? 60 multiplied by 112. Show me on your board. How do we multiply fractions? You guys know this. How do we multiply fractions? What are some ideas for multiplying 60 times 1 over 12? You can talk in your groups too. How could you multiply fractions? What are some ideas? So talk with your group. See if anybody needs some ideas. Alright. So what I see a lot of you doing, guys doing is 60 over 1 multiplied by 112. Is it okay to put a 1 under the 60?
Yes.
Yeah? How come? Sophia?
Because 1 times 12 is still 12 for the bottom number.
Oh, gotcha. So when you multiply just like this, multiply these numbers, it's still over 12. And then you did 1 times 6? 60. So 60 over 12. That is a large fraction. Right? 60 over 12 feet. How can we simplify 60 over 12? First of all, did anyone get any Me Too's on that 60? 60 over 12. Did anybody get any Me Too's on that? Yeah? Raise your hand really high. I'm going to take a picture of your Me Too's. So it's fun. Any Me Too's? Nice work. Alright. So then how could we simplify 60 over 12? Show me on your whiteboards. Hadley is so excited to share with you. What is 60 over 12? How can we simplify that? Because that is a large fraction. Does 12 go into 60? Yes? What? How many times? 5. Nice work. So we ended up with how many feet?
5.
Just like we did before, right? 5 feet. So his tower is 5 feet tall. All right, nice work. So in the interest of time, we are going to work on our independent practice worksheets. So you can put all your whiteboards in the middle of the table. So remember, guys, put your name at the top like you always do. Don't worry about how it says Appendix A. Okay. So the first couple of problems, guys. Rayburn. Okay, attention up here, right? The first couple of problems, we are going to draw a tape diagram like we did in our math journal. Okay? To represent weeks and days. Okay? The week is the whole tape diagram. What is one day of a week?
Okay, done. Done with the first problem already. No.
So remember in that first problem, we're drawing a tape diagram. And then we're figuring out, first question is, 1 week is how many days? The second question is 1 day is equal to what fraction of a week? And your tape diagram will help you figure that out. I'm gonna draw your tape diagram too. So you know how to draw your tape.
So what does this take? A week? So how many days is it? And then Monday, right, is how much of a week? Yep. So this is like your very second that we did last week on over. She told us 1 gallon is how many quarts? So this would be a gallon. So 1 quart. So now this is an example. They're converting days into weeks. Okay? They do this for you. This one, you need 2 quarts to gallons. So 20 quarts is 20 times. It's like this. Just pull one apart.
You guys can keep moving on to the second question if you have the other one, okay? And remember on the second question, there are 4 quarts in a gallon, okay?
So then this would be 20 quarts. And then what would that be? So yes, 20 quarts. So then what is, how many parts or what times? Yep. That's just your answer. I'm just. Because here you're saying it's 20 quarts of a gallon. So then 20 quarts is 5.
What fraction of a quart is 1 quart?
Now here, you're gonna have, you're separating out the number from the unit, so what would that be? 900 times what?
1 quart. 1 quart. Does that make sense?
Okay, and how many meters? 20. Nope, now we're on centimeters to meters, so on what? That there, it's still finding out the number from the unit, so it's still. And then the next one, you're gonna turn it to gallons, so what, 20 times?
Yeah. So remember in this one, there's 7 days a week.
Right. So for this one, how are we going to figure out this one? Same way we did this one.
Shaded in one of them.
Yeah. It was super obvious. So what do you think that is now? There you go. 1 over 4. Nice work.
Oh, I can't get this.
Yeah. So you did this one, right? Okay. What is the most confusing part about this one?
I don't know how to use the stairs.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to figure out how to find out centimeters. So you're using this thing. Okay. So if we go this way, to how many meters in a step? There's 1 here. There's 10 in this one. If we go down, 1 decimeter is 1/10. But we want centimeters, so what's the fraction for that?
Oh,
1/10? 1/100.
it says weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's a little typo. So you know from here that 1 meter is 1/100th of a meter. So just write that down. You can just write on the side. It's info right there. So you should write like this would be important information. So you're using a chart. 1 over 100. Right? Does that make sense? Why? Exactly. Because that's how you're using your chart to figure it out, right? Is that the right? Is that the same number as this one?
Oh, no, that's
There you go. All right, friends, we have 2 minutes. So what I need you guys to do is on the bottom of your papers. It's okay if you didn't finish all your problems. On the bottom of your paper, on the other side, you can write one thing that helped you learn today. Okay? Just like we did last time. On the very bottom. Yes, of whichever side you want. It does not matter.
You don't have to.
You do have to. You don't have to finish, but write something that helped you. Was it the tape diagram? Was it working in groups with your partners? Was it the whiteboard activities? Write one thing that helped you guys learn today, okay? What helped you figure out how to use these fractions to convert measurements?